Well, I mean, it's very, very odd because there's such a mess going on around them. One minute they're going to do things separately, the next minute it's Meghan has never ever needed him more than she needs him now. Then she'd looked at his book, The Spare, and thought it was okay, and now she regrets that she didn't look at it properly. Um, it's just really extraordinary. And what they each want to do seems to change every day. And I think this is typical of people who are much too much in a hurry without thinking things through. And that's made their lives, such a mess. I think they're really worried. I think not getting on the Emmys list has really made them feel very unstable. I mean, they've had a long list of things that have gone very wrong, and Spotify and Netflix and all these things. And but this Emmy, which Meghan actually asked if she could be on the panel to decide what goes in, which is hilarious because you don't actually start saying, "Well, mine should," do you? And I think it's just an extraordinary way of actually not coping. And some people are saying to me, "Oh, Harry's been sent out. She's sent him away. He's not there." And some say he's living in this hotel. Others say he's not. But the interesting thing is, Harry said he'd like to go to Africa. He said that to me when I was writing his biography, that what he'd really like to do is to go to Africa and actually try and stop some of the animals there becoming extinct. Perfectly sound. It's not actually, though, Meghan's territory. But then it's said that she wants to go to America with him. She wants to help people build homes for the natives there. And you think, hello, that's exactly what Prince William's doing. This is another one of these things that if he does this, I'm going to do better. And the other one, she says that she wants to help women giving birth. Now, my goodness me, I was shocked horror about that because, any mother who's gone through the birth would know that two births don't make you an expert by any means whatsoever. And she should keep well away. That is not her role. She can say something nice, but don't start telling people how to do things. This is the thing, they've got to tell us all how to do it. Don't take planes, be compassionate. None of the things that they are. It's a sort of strange thing that they want to control us all, globally, not just in the UK. The UK is too small, not interested. It's just baffling.
I think you're so right about the sort of how scrambling not being nominated for an Emmy was, because the whole point was that if they were, then they could at least say that the adventure of tearing the family apart was worth something because there was a creative recognition for it. But as you see, the podcast ended in nothingness. The book got a lot of money, but of course destroys the family. And the documentary now is in the bin up the back of the Netflix queue. What do you reckon about not getting that Emmy and what that might be doing to Meghan?
I'm very, very pleased it didn't go anywhere, largely because I think there's something quite repulsive of giving someone an award for tearing a family apart. Even worse if it's the royal family, because it's just a horrible thought that that's what you would dance and clap and drink champagne about. It's not to be encouraged. But I do think that actually Netflix are showing them the door, and it will soon happen that they won't get that 40 million that's still hovering. I think they've had 40 for really rubbish, and it was the most boring thing. I had to sit there for 6 hours listening to it, moan after moan after moan. It's actually quite wearisome. And then this. They say they'll help them get a good deal with another book. She wants to take Dickens and tear it apart and prove that she's much better at writing Dickens than Dickens is. That's a nonsense, isn't it? And Harry going to Africa, I think he might be very happy there. but I can't think that that's going to be a £40 million gold egg for Netflix at all. I don't think people are that interested.
No, certainly when it's more entertaining to watch Is It Cake than anything that they've made for Netflix. They're sort of, as I say, at the back of the queue. But also we're reading here that there's another chance that Meghan's going to get back into the acting game, but doesn't she also want to be a senator as well?
Yeah, well, she wants to be everything. She wants to write a book. She wants to be a senator. She was offered, well, she's not been offered, but there's a rumour she might take the leading female role in a play, in a film. But, I mean, how can she do that if she's in Africa helping people build houses and telling mothers how to be look after their babies and give birth? You can't take any of it seriously. You can't believe them. And also, it seemed to be very much apart. Meghan had some photographs. She obviously got some paparazzi to take pictures of her the other day when she was walking to a flower market. What was the point of that? She doesn't want the publicity, so why should she do it? But she was on her own. She likes to show that she's all alone. And now it's not that she's lonely, it's that she can manage. She's a really powerful woman. And Harry, which we were told that he didn't want to be seen anymore, he didn't want to be a celebrity anymore, but that's really cutting him out. And actually, without him, she's nothing. I don't think they will split yet. But I think she wants to prove that she's really strong on her own. I mean, she did say they were like salt and pepper. Whatever they did together. And they were so happy that way. They didn't explain who was salt and who was the pepper, but never mind. And
I can guess.
But now yes, but now there's no contact, there's no touching, there's no helping. I mean, Harry it's become a terrible mess, really. And she should have come over to be with him, to help him. It's extraordinary. And the nonsense about how she now regrets very much that she didn't look through spare carefully. Harry wouldn't do anything without her telling him what to do. That's the sort of state he's in now, I'm told. And therefore, she won't ever say, I made a terrible mistake, it was my fault. It's always somebody else's, it's always passed on to someone. And I think all these things, just take the film, for example. She wants to be a lead female, but now she's also said at the same time that she doesn't want to appear. She wants to learn to be a producer, and she wants to be behind the camera, not in front of it. So, baffling. She doesn't know how to be a producer, and I think she will be one who thinks that she knows much quicker than she actually can. She doesn't like to be told. She is somebody who feels that she knows it all better. That's a problem. That was the problem in the British royal family, that she thought she knew how to run it in a modern way better than anyone. And I think that's still lingering.
Yeah, dare I say, she's all about the title and not about the actual job. We see that with the royal life, and we see that now in the multiplicity of other things that have happened, post-royal life, while keeping all of the upside as well. Let's talk about Queen Camilla. It's her birthday on Monday. She'll be turning 76. You literally wrote the book on her. How's she changed over the years, but more importantly, how's she doing now?
I think she's doing very well. I think it's been very hard for her to be the centre of attention. She was incredibly nervous at the coronation, partly because the tiara, the crown that she had to wear, she's got quite a big head, and they couldn't work it out. They could sort of rub off a bit. So that she could wear it. And so she had to be very careful that she didn't sort of move quickly. The whole thing could have fallen off, and goodness knows what was happening. So I think that was very, very hard. But I think she's relaxing now. I have found that she's more relaxed. She's doing what's very important to her, which is supporting Charles, and she's managing to keep on her the engagements that she really feels important, like literacy and women who are, attacked in the home, things like that. And she really is very keen to do that. But I asked somebody, how different is she? And they said, she's the same. She's not somebody who gets all snobby and all that, but she has to be organized, which is the first time in her life, because she's quite untidy. And she wants to see her children and grandchildren, which she really, really does. She has to make sure that she's actually getting the time sorted out, because they're very, very busy. I mean, she was going to be flying all over the place. And she's somebody who hates flying, but the government had said, cut back on this. I expect that's financial importance, that we don't go spending vast amounts of money, and the tours can wait a bit. She's probably very happy to be here in the UK with her dogs and with King Charles. And it was very, very sweet yesterday when she actually she became 76. King Charles took her somewhere where there was a small choir singing beautifully "Happy Birthday," and they looked at each other, and he moved very close to her, put his arm around her, and gave her a really lovely look, and she gave him a quick but really loving look back. And you think, my goodness, that's how the royal family are changing. Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen, would have been quite horrified to show that emotion in public. But you see that King Charles and Queen Camilla, they want to be more accessible. And if they like each other, they want to show it. And I thought it was amazing but lovely.
And William is obviously doing all he can to assert his independence. Certainly him and Catherine and the family turning up at Wimbledon was pretty awesome, seeing particularly Princess Charlotte, who I know is a favourite of many of us here at Sky News. Louis takes the cake for being a naughty little boy, but she's just very much the princess. Cool to see them at Wimbledon. But some of the housing arrangements suggest that he is trying to create maybe a little bit of distance, maybe a bit of independence. What do you think?
Well, it's very interesting. He took over the Duchy of Cornwall when his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, died. That was King Charles, and masses of land, huge lands. But there's a cottage there that King Charles bought for £1.2 million some years ago, and he loves it because it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's in the countryside. And to his shock and almost horror, Prince William said to him that he wants him out in a couple of months because he wants to rent it, and it's actually not his place to stay there now. They have got homes all over the place, haven't they? So they're not going to be out on the street. But it was very interesting. King Charles was quite upset, and William is being very firm. And in a way, it's what King Charles did to Harry and Meghan, to say, right, Frogmore Cottage, you have to be out. You don't use it. We want to give it to somebody else. And that was actually Prince Andrew, but that might not happen. He is exerting his power now. But I think they get on okay. But it's just his behaving as he wants to go on.
Yeah, correct. Angela, lovely to talk to you. I want everyone to get your book, to watch what you write, and keep an eye at skynews.com.au. We love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.